Suppose we have two tables and both have a similar column, like we have address in person and address in company. So here the address is used in both tables. So while typing the query, we must specify that which address is this. Now in this query we have typed address only, so it is not clear. This is ambiguous actually. So for this purpose we must also type the table name with the attribute, so that this must be clearly defined. So here we have bname with person and address with company. Now sometimes we need tuple variables. So for using a variable we must use it with the as keyword. Now here if you look into the query, we have x dot bname. X is actually a tuple variable, and y dot address, y is also a tuple variable, and these are defined here in the from class. Person as x, by using the x keyword we defined x, and similarly we are defining y as this is a variable for company. So instead of typing person and company, we can easily type x and y instead. Here we have three tables: company, product and purchase. So we have a question here: return cities where one can find companies that manufacture products bought by Joe Blow. So first we will look into the purchase. Joe bought two products, and these two products are made by Samsung and Oppo. So we can get the list of these products and also the list of makers with the help of query. Then with the help of n keyword we can use this query, the result of this query in another query, and here if we get Samsung and Oppo, then we can also get Seoul and Shanghai by putting this query in another query by using n keyword. This is the equivalent to previous query. Here again we are selecting city and the three conditions. Here these three conditions are present in the where clause, and also we are getting the data from three tables. So these three tables are typed with from. But remember one thing, while using this query or the previous one, we may get some duplicated values. For example, suppose here we have Samsung instead of Oppo for F3. Let's say F3 is a model or a product by Samsung. So what will happen, we will get this value twice, because the first query will give us Samsung 2 times, and then this query will also give us this city name twice. So to eliminate these duplications we must use distinct. So with the help of distinct we can eliminate such type of duplicated values. In both cases we must use distinct. Suppose we are using aggregation in a condition, so for that purpose we must use having clause. Don't use aggregation with where. we must use having for aggregation. So here we are actually using a condition here, but we have also one additional condition, and that is actually about the aggregation, and it will give us the sum of all the quantities, and the quantities must be greater than 30. In previous example, actually we had quantity for bangle and also quantity for banana, so we can group these and we can put some additional condition on these quantities. So the first condition is to compare the value with the 30, and also inside the value we are taking sum of these quantities. We can also use subqueries in this way. Here a keyword all is used to be compared with the price. So if the price is greater than all the results generated by this query, after that we will get the name from a table. Try to practice these subqueries by yourself and learn that how these work. But remember one thing, while using this query or the previous one, we may get some duplicated values. For example, suppose here we have Samsung instead of Oppo for F3. Let's say F3 is a model or a product by Samsung. So what will happen, we will get this value twice, because the first query will give us Samsung 2 times, and then this query will also give us this city name twice. So to eliminate these duplications, we must use distinct. So with the help of distinct, we can eliminate such type of duplicated values. In both cases we must use distinct. We can also use subqueries in this way. Here a keyword all is used to be compared with the price. So if the price is greater than all the results generated by this query, after that we will get the name from a table. Try to practice these subqueries by yourself and learn that how these work. Next we have complex correlated query. Suppose we have a table product. It has some attributes: p name, price, category, maker, and year. There is only one table. So find products and their manufacturers that are more expensive than all products made by the same manufacturer. For example, we have a manufacturer, let's say A, and A is manufacturing 4 or 5 products. So we will get the price that is the highest made by A. So in the query we will have the product name and the maker which has highest price. So the logic is quite simple. This table product has 2 attributes, maker and price. So I'm taking this product as X for the first time according to this query. So then I'm taking this table as Y for the second time, as we have Y as product as Y in the nested query. So what will happen, according to this query, all these makers will be compared with these, and if found equal, then the price will be selected. I forgot one thing. There is another condition, that is about year. So this condition is simple. We are using year greater than 1972. So now I'm coming back to the main thing. So A will be compared with A, B, C, all these, and then if A is found equal to A, then 10 will be selected here for A and 15 will be selected for A. Similarly for B, we will have, this is actually B, so similarly for B we will have 20 and 21. Then once we get the list of prices for this query, then we will compare all these prices with the prices of this table. So with the help of this query we will get a list. There might be some duplication because here a maker can be repeated several times, a price may be repeated. So what will we do? We must use distinct operator here to avoid any kind of duplication. Next we have aggregation. SQL supports several types of aggregation operations. We have sum, count, minimum, maximum, and average. Now if we need to calculate the average of all the values under price, we must use AVG and then price inside the parentheses after select, and definitely we will have from and where as we used in all the select queries. So for count it is better to use static because the data will be in a tabular form, so all the attributes will give the same number of values. We can use static, also we can use the attribute name here, but remember that except count, all these operators must use a single attribute. These are some examples for count. We can count category in this way, and also we can count category with distinct if there are repeating values under category, like in our example there was a gizmo and gizmo was repeating. So for avoiding repetition we must use distinct, and we have same procedure. We can also use sum with some additional operation, like here we are multiplying the values of price with the quantity. So all the values under price will be multiplied with their values under respective values under quantity, and we can also apply a where clause in such type of queries. In this query we have product equals to bangle, so the price of bangle is 1.50 here, and also we have another bangle that is 1. So what will we do? We will multiply this price with quantity. So it is actually in the query price static quantity, so 1 multiplied by 20 and then 1.5 multiplied by 20, and sum up these values. So we will have 20 for this one and 30 for this one, and the result will be 50 after applying this sum. Result will be a single value, and here if we use group by, then we can get multiple values for multiple products in a table. For example, here we have two products, first and second, so we can group these products. First product is repeated and also the second one is repeated. So if we apply group by, then with the help of this query we will get a result having two values under total sales, because we used as total sales here. So this will create a new column in the results, and that will be titled as total sales. And then the second condition is about date, which is compared with a value. This was all about select query or data query language. So in today's lecture we studied about the basics about select query, then the basic format of query, how can we use where clause, the like operator. So for the like operator we use percent or underscore, and then to eliminate the duplication we used distinct. We also used ordered by clause if you need the results to be ordered in ascending or descending. So for that purpose we must use order by. For descending we must type DESC at the end. Then we took some data from multiple tables, and also we studied about tuple variables, subqueries, query inside query, and then complex correlated query, aggregation. In aggregation we studied about sum, average, minimum, maximum, and count. Grouped by, if items are repeated and we are applying some aggregation on such items, and for that purpose we can group the results. Then at the end we used having clause. Having clause is used for using the aggregation in a condition. This was all about SQL. If you have any question, you can put your question in the comments. Inshallah, I will answer your question whenever I get any. So I hope you will study these by yourselves and do practice all these queries in MySQL Workbench. Best of luck. Thank you.